Hello Virgo, welcome to your reading. My name is Maria and this is a reading for Virgo. It could be Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, Venus, stellium, or you could be a cross-watcher. And when you find it, when you're directed to it, when you feel like clicking on it, that was the time for this message to reach you, because it's a timeless reading. So we're just going to jump right into it because we have a kind of a great message for you on the table today. So we start out with these two cards from the Osho Zen Tarot, the Control and the Guidance card. And these two, they speak to me of a tug of war that's going on inside of you. You're fighting with yourself about something. And you're trying to negotiate what should have the last say. Should it be control or guidance? Should it be fear or trust? And the thing that you're fighting with yourself about is love. It could be a person, a particular person, or just the concept of love and relationships as such. But this is the crux of the matter. You're looking for love, you're wanting love, you're longing for love. You also have a lot of resistance towards it and fears connected to that. And that's really what this tug of war is about. And the way it comes out is that your fear would like you to become very rigid and look at it in rigid ways and close yourself in on yourself and maybe shut off from your feelings and just kind of step into this very very rigid, maybe you're calling it rational to yourself, stance that is just like no, I'm not doing that. It's too much pain. I don't want to do it. Or if I'm gonna do it, I have 5,000 rules and they should be followed, and if they're not followed, that's not anything for me. And then this other side of you that's trying to come in, and this is not another person, and it's also not your angels or your spirit team that you're fighting with, because they would never fight you. You're fighting with yourself, because guidance would never fight you. Guidance is here as an offer of help to show you the way, but it would not kick down your door to get to you. That's not what it's doing. So you might think that you're fighting against your guides or your guidance, but you're not. You're just fighting with yourself, and guidance is waiting in the wings, hoping that you will listen to it, because it really, really wants what's best for you. It's here to help you if you want it, but if you don't want it, it's not gonna insist. But so you're having this discussion with yourself, or this flipping back and forth between just taking control and deciding that you know how it's going to play out, and it's not going to play out well, and you've decided that, or maybe opening to this thing that is so much more softer and full of hope, and that really wants to tell you that there is a lot of good things on the horizon for you, or there could be, if you were willing to be open to it. And you come out, this part of you, this, I would say, this fear side of you, it comes out with the Eight of Inspiration and the Justice card. So I see you in this depiction, kind of running with a rubber band around your belly, trying to push in some direction that the universe and the energies are not supporting, trying to impose your will upon the situation, and it's really not working. It's just having you spinning your wheels and spending your energy and not really getting anywhere. And this one, the Justice, it comes out as and I'm only talking about one side of you because it's not all of you, it's just a part of you. Your fear is trying to close your mind to something that wants to come in. You're trying to avoid it because you don't know what it is, you don't know what it wants from you. You feel like it's coming from this universal spiritual place that you don't really. Maybe you're angry with your guides, maybe you feel like some things went wrong, and you also you're starting to, you feel like this is a little flaky. I mean, here you know what's going on, you've got it down, you made some decisions, but this one comes in with a much more flowy energy and is asking you to trust, and you have resistance to that because you can't really, this side of you is not really willing to let that shiny thing in. But the guidance that wants to come into you is just so incredibly beautiful. It comes in with the Knight of Voices. It really wants to bring you a message. See, it comes flying on a horse, and it has a lot of hope and a lot of sunlight and beauty. It really wants you to trust again. It wants you to love again. It wants you to open your mind. And also comes out with the Muse of Emotions, which is the highest emotion card in this deck. So it's really about very, very high level emotional IQ, very high level emotional wisdom that wants to wake up in you, or that wants to wake you up. But you have a lot of difficulty. You're kind of flipping back and forth between let's say fear and trust, because you just feel like this is too flaky. Here you have it kind of linear, put into boxes. You've put all the boxes up on shelves and you know where everything is. And this one is coming in like, open all the boxes, let it all go. And you're like, who's there saying that? Who is this? How can I trust that the universe knows what they're doing? Half the time it seems like they don't. I would like to see your resume or some letters of a recommendation, because it doesn't seem to me like these guides or the universe have any idea what they're doing. So you're not very convinced. However, this doesn't look like a very peaceful situation either. It looks like you're actually having to fight quite a lot to keep yourself in this rigid position. This one is struggling. It is somehow averse to your nature. And whether you like it or not, this might be more true to you. So the issue, as I was saying, what you're fighting about is love. You're fighting about love. You come out with the Lovers card, clarified by the Two of Inspiration, showing me you're looking for love, right? Here you are looking for love. You are looking for love. This is what you want. This is what you long for. It really is. And this then comes out further clarified by, believe it or not, the Lovers. The Lovers clarified by the Lovers. You really want this. This is what you want. It's just, it's such big energies. You know, we have only two tarot cards on the decks on the table, the Zen Tarot and the Muse Tarot. And the Lovers from both decks come out. It's a very powerful energy. It really wants to manifest in your life. And you really want it. You really do. But you also come out under this card with the Ten of Voices, which is just probably maybe the most painful card in the deck. And I think it has to do with past loves that didn't turn out well. Somebody may have broken your heart in a million pieces, or you could just be really afraid. You know, the concept of love might frighten you. That you went through something that almost killed you, let's say, and so you have fear about going back into that. And that's the main problem here, is that this beautiful thing that you really want, that is meant for you, has been infringed by this immense fear. And so the way you try to deal with it some of the time is you try to just break your own heart in advance and just saying to yourself, oh, it's no use, nothing's ever gonna happen, it's not gonna happen for me, I'm gonna have to deal and live my life without love, and then that'll just be fine. And or you could be sort of deliberately trying to hide from love, or just maybe you're telling yourself that I should be realistic, or maybe it's a way of consoling yourself to say that I don't need love, it's not for me, it's not gonna happen. But really, it's just breaking your heart, and it's dragging you down, and it is just fear. It's just control. It's not truth. It's just your way of trying to control, because it seems maybe very frightening to you that you really want something that could possibly, potentially break you. But, you know, there's only one heartbreak, and there's two sets of lovers on this table. This is more powerful. So, the universe comes in with guidance. Your flaky guides come in with a flaky piece of advice. Playfulness. It wants you to be playful. It wants you to let go of your worries and step into some lightness of being. It really, really would like you to let go of all of this control and fear, and step into a space of non-seriousness, even though this may seem like the craziest advice to you ever. And also, you know, a little bit being a Virgo, you trust is good, but control is a little better. And you want to think about it maybe a little much, think about it a little too much. And the universe is saying, you should try this on, because being playful, being non-serious, being light at heart will do you a world of good. And it's gonna bring you into a frequency that is full of light and miracles and, fairy dust. It's a frequency of miracles. And so it really wants you to step into this. Because because you'll see why. But this is the advice, and you, of course, you react to that advice with an argument about, come out with the 7 of voices and the Muse of voices. And if you see what I see, you'll probably see 2 roads that are not very comforting. They look very precarious and uncomfortable and dangerous. And that's your argument. You're saying, okay, but the world is a dangerous place, and a lot of terrible things can happen, and people can come in and say they love you, and then the next day they ran away with all of your pets, or whatever, however life plays out. And so your argument is, the world is not a safe place. The world is not a safe place. How can you ask me to be playful? But the universe is answering that question. First of all, with saying, it comes out with the wasp spirit, and it says this. The sentence is, sometimes life stings. So the answer is, well, nobody goes through life unscathed. That is not the point of life. That's not the point of love. So we can give you no guarantees of no pain. But what you're doing is not painless. What you're doing is actually a guarantee of pain. We're giving you the option of maybe not having pain and getting what you really want. But and so it also comes out with the cat spirit. Claim your independence. It says that that's not really how it's speaking to me. What it is saying to me is that it's first of all, a cat has 9 lives. So you can actually experience to be broken and still rise and have a great new experience. And even if you might have been broken a couple of times or 8 times. So, but it also speaks to me about how a cat is kind of like, it doesn't care about what you think of it. It doesn't care. It doesn't care if you think it just doesn't care. And I feel like that does play in a little bit to this kind of energy, just not caring what other people think. Maybe some part of you thinking, okay, but I also can't just be non-serious, because how's that gonna, what's that gonna look like? And if I run around like this, with fairy dust in my hair, how's that gonna attract love? But it is really saying, just be you. It comes then out with the conditioning card, and the conditioning card it's about stepping out of the mold, about not having to do everything the same way as everybody else, is allowing yourself to emerge as something that is very authentically you, as the cat would. Oh, sorry, the cat, because, here's the big cat. And I feel that this is saying, you might think, or you might have thought, that there was only one way of doing this thing with love and relationships, and that you kind of missed your boat in a way. You maybe you didn't succeed in doing it exactly in the same timing or the same way as everybody else, and now you feel like, it's just too bad that I missed my train, or it's not gonna happen for me. But this is actually saying, you don't have to do this the same way as the normal way. Not at all. The normal way is not neither necessarily the right one, or the fastest one, or the truest one. So I feel like you might have an idea of some linear way it should pan out, or the way it should play out, or how you go about getting love. And that's also what you're doing in this, with maybe a lot of rules and regulations inside of your head about how it should be done. And this one is actually inviting you to let that go, and step into also more of a trusting space. This one is very trusting, that you can do it in another way. You don't have to do it in the same way as everybody else. You can actually step into this frequency of light and miracles, and it will show up, and it will be something that is more authentic, not necessarily following some pre-laid template, but it's really asking you to become you, the most authentic you that you can be, and don't worry so much. Please don't worry. This is what your guidance is saying. Don't spend your life dragging yourself down with worries, because it's so unnecessary. And it really wants you to just give yourself time to play and enjoy life, and not be in this very harsh energy. And how it's really coming out is that it's saying, letting go of control, following guidance, being playful, is actually what is gonna unveil your most authentic self. And then your lover will be able to see you, right? So not so flaky after all. You know, you'll step out, you'll show yourself as your true self when you let go of your burdens as best you can, as much as you can. If you're very attached to your worry, just give it a little bit of a vacation, see what happens. You don't have to let it go forever if it's very important to you, but maybe give it a little bit of a rest and try this on for size, because it will bring you into your truest self, and that will just turn on your love light, make you so visible. And it comes out with this conditioning card. Comes out with the Hanged Muse, and I see this one as kind of doing an acrobatic trick, but in a way where she's very trusting and very, very much in a, in a state of flow, which is also a sort of letting go, a sort of a trusting. And it's gonna bring a lot of light if you're allowing yourself to be maybe different from the others, allowing yourself to be that, to be your inner cat spirit, because it will actually create a lot of light in your life, and some things will flip around. That's actually how this one comes out. Some things will completely flip around. And then comes out the Knight of Emotions, which I consider to be a great card in this reading, because it is a messenger of love. Then comes out the Messenger of Love. And the Messenger of Love comes out when you don't worry. Because you'll step into this frequency of magic and miracles, and then magic and miracles will start arriving. But it might not be in a linear way. It might not be in the way that you thought it would, and that's why it's very important that you don't think too much, because if you think too much, you're gonna start to have tunnel vision, and it's gonna be really difficult for the universe to reach you and to come in with some newness that is actually will be the thing that really turns on your light and makes you visible to others. So and then we end up with the last card is the Moth Spirit. Stunning card. and this beautiful creature speaks this message to you: surrender now. And I love how it has sort of an urgency to it. Surrender now. It's now. I would take that as a great message, because I do feel there is sort of an urgency to all of this. To me, it seems a little bit like guidance is trying to say, do it now. Let go now. Be playful now. Because it really wants to come in with something. And if at all possible, it's saying, stop thinking. Don't think your way through this. Don't try to think your way to love. Don't think, Virgo. Maybe the most difficult piece of advice you ever got in your life, but it will do you such a world of good, and it will bring you into the frequency of what you want the most. So surrender. Try it on. Just try it on. Just try it a little bit at a time if it's too much or if it's too difficult, because Spirit wants to show you the way to love. It really does. It wants you to show you the way to love. It's gonna be a flaky road, and you need to be open to it. I think this is the greatest message probably I've given anybody in a tarot reading. I don't know if this maybe provokes you a little bit. It might, and if it does, that's actually even better, because that just shows how important it is. But it is a promise of something so great that you really want. So I'm really hoping that you can apply this just even a little bit and find that playful side of yourself. So Virgo, this was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And if you did, please like, subscribe, share, comment, and come back again. See you next time.